This is my top Atari 2600 games. I'm going to go in order. I'm going through this. I have kind of a couple sets of number ones at the end. Ones that I played by myself, and then ones I played with my two brothers. So I'm going to have two number ones just because of that. So we'll start out here with Night Driver. This was one of my favorite games when we first got into the Atari 2600. I played this thing for hours. And you can see nowadays, man, doesn't look that fun. You just constantly drive through the night and cars coming at you. I think that's pretty basically what this game was. And this game came out in 1980. That's right, guys. My number 5 is E.T. I know a lot of you can't believe this made my top 5, but it did. I loved E.T. I spent hours on it. It's one of the games I beat. If I remember right, I think it was a pretty easy game to beat. But this came out just after the E.T. movie was released. So it was released in 1982. And I thought it was a blockbuster, in my opinion. I think the reason why I liked it so much is because it was easy to beat. But you know, when you first played it was kind of hard. Look at these graphics. They're awesome. My number 4 is Combat. Just like Papa Brad, but Papa Brad shows you just the tanks. This Combat came out in 1977, and it had a lot of different modes to it. You had the tanks, then you had the biplanes, and then you had the jets. Then inside those games, they had different modes to those. So this is probably a pretty advanced game for 1977 for Atari. So the biplanes, you had 3 different types of ammunition. You had the straight missiles, guided missiles, and machine guns. Unlike the tank version, however, there were several different gameplay modes. Players had the option of fighting one-on-one, each fighting a pair of biplanes that fire in sync, or one player controlling 3 synced biplanes against one large bomber. The bomber shoots an oversized projectile that would otherwise behave like a straight missile. Instead of mazes to fly through, there are 2 clouds in the middle of the stage that either player could fly into, temporarily hiding themselves from view. Then you had a jet version. The jet option is similar to biplanes, but uses only straight and guided missiles. It uses the same map and squadron options as the biplane modes, singly, in pairs, or in trios. So pretty neat game, and it's pretty advanced for its time. Me and my 2 brothers spent hours on this game, and we spent hours fighting over it as well. Next up is my number 3, Pole Position. This came out in 1983. One of my favorite racing games on Atari 2600. As you see, a lot better than the Night Driver. But really cool game. And these are a little different graphics for Atari at the time as well. You had the moving mountains in the background. To me, they did a really good job on this. It looks somewhat like the arcade game, somewhat. Next up is my number 2, Adventure. Came out in 1979. This was an adventure game. Love this game. I spent hours on it. It's such a basic concept of a game, but it was really fun to play. You got your giant duck, which is supposed to be a dragon, but it looks like a duck. Fun game to play, though. You want to spend hours in these mazes and castles to get to the end, get the trophy. Real fun game. I love this game. And the color concept is so easy too, you know. The yellow key opens the yellow castle, the black key opens the black castle, and it was just a fun game, though. You had this bridge right here to get through a wall. I mean, it's so freaking funny if you look back at it. So that was Adventure. My first number 1 is Pitfall II. This is my favorite game when it first came out in 1984. I think I got it for my birthday. My birthday's in the summer, so I had all summer to play this game. Love this game, and it's not like Pitfall 1, I actually beat this game. I never beat the first one, but I did beat this one. The music for this game, man, brings memories back. Love this game. This game was pretty advanced at the time for Atari and Activision. There was a lot of different levels to this game. Had a larger world, had vertical scrolling, swimmable rivers with deadly eels, and balloons for floating between locations. It's a really fun, cool game. Pitfall 2 was one of the last major releases for the console as well, and one of the most technically impressed. The cartridge contains a custom display processor chip designed by Crane for improved visuals and 4-channel music instead of 2 the system is normally capable of. It was a continue play, so if you died, you went back to a certain save point. As you can see on this here, you see that X, that's where your next save position would be. So if you died, you just go back to that spot. That was another cool thing about this game. And my number one game I played with my two brothers is football. Came out in 1978. We spent hours on this game, especially on rainy days, on weekends. But as you can see, there's not much to this game at all. It's pretty funny how it looks nowadays compared to what games you have nowadays. Crazy, but we love this game. Classic football from 1978. That blue line you see on the screen, that is your first down marker. Pretty basic, but it was a lot of fun to play.